We're Still Here is a co-production between National Theatre Wales and Commonwealth, directors are directing this piece. It's also involved Rachel Trezise, who's the writer on the piece, who's originally her father was from Port Talbot, and so her own family is embedded in the work and the life of this community. So it felt like a really interesting mix of artists. Commonwealth are very much about wanting to make work that is political, current, and actually allows us to tell stories that perhaps you don't otherwise hear. And so it was a really fantastic collaboration to come together to do that. We have a strong relationship with the place and the people here, and there is, of course, a huge heritage, cultural heritage, theatrical heritage in men that have come from here, men and women who have become famous actors. So there's something in the water, maybe. It just feels like it's got an energy and a spirit that feels very galvanising and very potent. And then, of course, the steelworks, they are such a bastion of heavy industry, which South Wales has been renowned for, and it remains one of the last bastions now. It felt like that story was really rich, and combining that with a theatrical response that captured a moment in time felt very important to us.
I always had to have people from the town involved at every level, so the community cast started meeting us way before rehearsal started, and we'd show them like early drafts of the script, and then they would read the script, contribute to it, we'd do writing exercises with them, so all of that really fed into our process of actually making the show. So that was really important because we had to make sure everything was always true to life, and that's always a big part of our process, that we build it with people, so it's not about us coming in and going, oh, this is how it is. They're the ones who are the experts who know how it is.
We're in St Paul's Community Centre in Port Talbot, so we have 2 sessions here every single Tuesday and Thursday from 7 to 9. As Community Associate, I'm kind of the recruiter for the community to get them involved, and it's just kind of like building a relationship, which is kind of really important for this whole process, so that they have the trust to come to stuff like this.
We lived it last year, and we still live in it, some of us. There's no better story than the truth, and they've done really well in coming up with their own stuff and telling their own, stirring up their own emotions and telling their own stories, which I think is massive. To be able to tell this thing on this scale, it's massive for Port Talbot.
I'm part of the community cast with the National Theatre Wales, and my role is to participate as a steelworker and a community member. So it's been really fun actually getting to know and meet new people from Port Talbot. It's great.
I did actually work in the steelworks as a young man, so I've been to about 5 or 6 of their role play parts now. I've got a piece of my own. And I'm really getting into it. I like it. I think it's going to be good. That's the kick I'm getting out of it right now, is meeting my friends and working together on a process around about Port Talbot, which we know a lot about anyway, and the steelworks.
I'm the son of 2 steelworkers. Both my mother and father worked in the steel industry for a very long time. I'm currently working there myself. I'm in my 31st year there. So this is a different project altogether than what I'm normally used to. The project definitely is good for Port Talbot, very much like Michael Sheen's passion was as well. It's bringing the community together in a project that they can all get behind and get their teeth into, and it's also a very moot point at the moment as well, with the job losses and the pensions in the steel industry being interfered with. The performance is looking good. I've only seen parts of it I'm involved in, and overall it looks quite something else. It's a bit of a different venue as well from a normal theatre.
The experience has been brilliant. It's been absolutely amazing. I've never actually done anything like this big before, so it's absolutely brilliant.
The show is kind of kind of heightened the knowledge of how important it is to a lot of people. It's kind of like, it's what makes them them, and it's the mainstay of a lot of families.
So I'm from Talbot, and my father works in the steelworks. He's been working there since he was 16, and also my grandfather worked there as well. When people from Talbot come to this performance, I think they'll feel touched and enjoy it.
I think they're going to relate to it. I think it connects on quite an emotional level with the steelworkers, because my father was actually one of the steelworkers that actually made redundant. So, yeah, it might hit them in the heart.
We've been told what's going on in our own town for long enough. This is our chance to tell their story, and they've been wanting their story heard for so many years.
For the people of Talbot, it's huge. I mean, to get that representation, to know that there's the National Theatre of Wales and people like Commonwealth have got an interest in that, and having their voices heard, I think it's massive for the community.
For me, having the community cast here has been vital for a number of reasons. A, you're not a theatre company that just lands and purports to have your opinion or your perspective of what the people are. You've got to have, the people who live there, the people who have that impact on a daily basis telling their story. There's no greater reward for any theatre company than to have that sort of sense of whatever the production is, whatever the achievement, of just knowing that the source, the core, the groundwork, the foundation is laid on sincerity and honesty.
The reach of it reaches beyond the community cast as well, because the process of making the show was built on interviews. So we interviewed steelworkers, we interviewed union guys. The guy around the corner helped us find this building. He cleaned this building up. So it's like an onion, really. It grows and grows and grows. So it's not just what you see. It's like all these different elements. And tonight in the show, there was a lot of people who had been involved in other ways, but each part of the show belongs to them.
From the beginning, people always said, if a steelworks closes, it won't just be about the works, it's about the town, and it's about how it impacts. And so many people in the community cast have got connections with the works, and it was so important to people that I think you can feel that when you watch the show, like how much their passion and like how important it is to everyone that's there. It's in the building, it's in this, it fills up this space. Their feeling and their energy fills this up. So they're all such generous people that their spirit and their energy completely is part of the show.
It's their stories, and who's better to tell their stories than them? So yeah, they had a huge impact on just to get that sort of sense of realism and that sense of, well, this has actually happened. It's not a dramatisation. It's not these are real people. These are real people telling their real stories.
The Steelworks story is an unfolding story. It's not finished, and this production is just captures a moment in time, really, and it's a kind of kaleidoscope of ideas and characters that speak both to the local conditions but also to a global context. So it'd be fascinating to see what people make of it.